Howdy, howdy. I wanted to take a little bit and talk about something that came out last week, but we didn't go live Wednesday or Thursday, so I never got a chance to talk about it. However, it's one of those things that I think is of ultimate importance to point out. Now, I've long said it doesn't matter what somebody says, it only matters what they do, and in some cases, what they don't do. Like in this case. Last week, USAID employees were told to burn and shred classified documents. And I've got an article here. Of course, I'll give you guys a link in the description in the first comment. This is from NBC News, and this is a insanely large article that I am not about to read all of. Okay? I'm not even going to begin to read all that crap. But let's start out. There's a little bit that I'm going to read to you, and then there's another little short paragraph that I'm going to read to you. And I'm going to ask you kind of a common sense basic question. So it says here, the U.S. Agency for International Development is instructing its staff in Washington to shred and burn documents, according to an email obtained by NBC News. This move comes as President Donald Trump's administration faces legal challenges over its attempt to shut down the federal agency. You know, them trying to buy time for the people in the agency. The document destruction was set to take place Tuesday. Now remember, this was last week. According to an email from Erica Carr, the agency's acting executive secretary. It is unclear how many people have received the email, which thanked workers for their assistance in clearing our classified safes and personnel documents. Shred, and this is a quote, shred as many documents first and reserve the burn bags for when the shredder becomes unavailable or needs a break, Carr wrote. So that's very interesting. That sounds like there's a whole bunch of stuff that they want to get rid of in a hurry. First question I would ask, is that normal? Well, we scroll down a little bit here. We're going to find a spot here. It says Harold Coe, a legal advisor for the State Department during the Obama administration, said a directive to destroy classified information is not standard procedure, noting that such steps are instead typically taken when an embassy is under attack. Outside of emergency scenarios, the priority is preservation for later consultation and continuity of sound policy, Coe said. Now, that was from a former legal advisor for the State Department during Obama's reign. I call it a reign because that's exactly what it was. Same with Biden, that was a reign. It wasn't a presidency, it was a reign. So, here's the thing. We've heard about this. We've got to hear about how the FBI was apparently withholding, supposedly, allegedly, a truckload of documents. And, supposedly, allegedly, they got those documents. Pam Bondi claims that she has gotten those documents. Now, we hadn't seen hide nor hair of a single page of those documents as of yet, aside from what was already released and what people already knew. But nothing was done. Not a damn thing was done. Nothing. Oh, you mean the head of the FBI, or whatever you call the guy that was forced to resign? Right. They do this all the time. When there is a massive issue and they need a cover-up, they'll pick one scapegoat. One scapegoat. And did this guy, I can't remember his name, the guy that was forced to resign, did he go to jail? Did he go to prison? Did he even get arrested? No? Well, that's interesting. You would think somebody that was ignoring a presidential order, somebody that was trying to cover up the world's largest human trafficking ring, you would think that maybe there might be some charges there. You would think that maybe there might be something. But what did you see from that? Nothing. Nothing. All the words were said. None of the actions happened. We're still waiting, are we not? Have you seen anything more of the JFK files by chance? Or how about MLK? How about 9/11? How about UFOs? Nothing? Nothing. Huh. So when you've got an agency that is coming right out and saying, well, maybe not right out. I mean, this letter was obtained by NBC, so. But when you've got somebody that's saying, okay, we need to shred and burn as many of these documents as we can. We have to get to it. You know, there is no time for shredder breaks or shredder breakdowns. If that happens, start burning the documents, right? That sounds like a pretty frantic destruction of information there. Now, I don't know. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm probably somewhere, you know, in a fair range of the sharpest tools. I'm sharp enough to know that if somebody is trying to destroy important information, that if it is within my control, if it is within my ability, my job is to secure those documents and that information. So where's the news articles of where they sent the National Guard or whomever else to go and preserve the sanctity of those documents? No, nowhere? You haven't even heard nothing about it? You mean, really? They're getting ready to shred, they're getting ready to destroy a bunch of documents that could prove unimaginable crimes. Could even some of them be linked to this trafficking ring? And I'm sure probably are. Don't you think for a second that somebody in the DOJ or the FBI might say, hey, you know, maybe we ought to send a few cats over there to make sure that they don't start destroying this stuff until we can get this worked out. But nothing. Nada. Not a single word about what the Trump administration should do in order to preserve this situation. Nada. We're getting taken for a ride, folks. We're getting taken for a ride. You may be fine with that ride. I'm not. We need to start standing up and we need to start raising hell. Because if we want any chance of having a nation that we recognize, we've got to remind those that claimed to be there in our best interest that we are the ones in control. Plain and simple. It's not looking great. It is not looking great. And with everything else thrown in the mix that's going on, with all these big data centers that's coming here, and $5 million gold immigration cards, and yeah, I'm not feeling so warm and fuzzy anymore about this administration. Keep a close eye on it. I think they're only getting started. Shalom.